All right, let's jump back into the world of King Sharyar, who's been held captive, not by chains, but by a story. For 6 nights, Sherazade has kept herself alive with her incredible tales. But tonight, on the 7th night, things are about to change. She's not just telling a story anymore. She's unleashing a mystery that's going to pull the king right off his throne and into the middle of the magic himself.
So here we are, the 7th night. And you have to remember, Shehrazade's life is literally on the line every single morning. But this time, something's different. After that completely bizarre story about 4 talking fish, she's got something she's never had before: the king's total, undivided, and obsessive attention. He's hooked.
Okay, so the king's investigation begins. And really, think about it. Your top advisor, the guy you trust most, comes to you and says, "Hey, I just saw some fried fish having a full-on conversation with a woman who walked through a solid wall." I mean, you'd think he'd completely lost his mind, right? But the king? He's intrigued. He's skeptical for sure, but some stories are just too strange to ignore. He has to see this for himself.
So he summons the fisherman and basically demands a repeat performance. The stage is set all over again in the royal kitchen. Those colorful fish are sizzling away in the pan, but this time there's an audience of one, the king himself. And he is watching, waiting to see if this impossible magic is actually real.
And then it happens. Just like the vizier said, the kitchen wall cracks and splits wide open. But hold on. That's not the beautiful maiden who stepped through the first time. Oh no. What comes through this time is something much, much bigger and a whole lot scarier.
What an escalation. We're talking about a colossal slave, as huge as a bull, stepping out of the wall. He's holding this strange green branch, and the whole vibe in the room just instantly changes. The magic feels darker now, more powerful, and way more threatening.
And get this, with a voice like thunder, he completely ignores the king. Like he's not even in the room. He looks right at the pan and booms out the exact same cryptic question as the maiden. O fish, are you still true to the old pact? That word, pact, that's everything, isn't it? It's the absolute center of this whole mystery.
And impossibly, the fish answer him, right from the sizzling pan. They lift up their little heads and reply. And what they say makes it clear they're bound by some kind of oath, their fate is tied to someone else's. Then, just as quickly, the giant flips the pan, the fish turn to charcoal, and he vanishes back into the wall.
For the king, that's it. Seeing is believing. This was no cheap trick. This was real, powerful enchantment. And now he's obsessed. He has to know where these fish came from and what this whole mysterious pact is all about.
So he turns to the fisherman and says, "Take me to where you found them, now." The fisherman leads him just a short ride from the city into this desolate wilderness tucked between 4 mountains. And the crazy part? The king, the ruler of this entire land, has never seen this place before. It's like a hidden world right on his own doorstep. And then, there it is, a beautiful hidden pond, shimmering with fish of those exact same 4 colors. The source of all this magic is real. And you can just feel it. The king isn't just standing at the edge of the water, he's standing on the edge of a much, much deeper story.
And right here, this is the turning point. The king is no longer just a passive listener. He makes a vow of his own. He swears that he will not go back to his city, will not sit on his throne until he has answers. He's just stepped out of the audience and right into the middle of the story himself.
He tells his vizier, "You're in charge," and then he just sets off, completely alone. For 2 days and nights, this king is reduced to a solitary wanderer, trekking through this strange land. And then finally, he sees something in the distance. It's this magnificent palace, built of black stone and iron, both imposing and beautiful. But as he gets closer, he realizes something is wrong. There's this chilling, heavy silence over the whole place. He knocks, he calls out, but nothing. The grand palace seems totally deserted.
So he goes inside, and it's within these silent walls that the king's quest takes its most shocking turn yet. He's about to get the answers he's been looking for, but the truth is way more tragic and horrifying than he ever could have imagined.
As the king walks deeper into this empty, opulent palace, he finally hears a sign of life. But it's not a welcome, it's not a voice, it's the sound of pure human suffering, an anguished moan that just echoes through the silence.
He follows the sound, pulls back a curtain, and there he is, a handsome young prince, dressed in silk and gold, sitting on a couch. But his face is just filled with this profound sadness.
And the first thing he says to the king is a strange apology. "Forgive me for not being able to rise and greet you."
This is it. The king is finally face to face with someone who might have answers, and he just lays it all out. He asks about the palace, the pond, the enchanted fish, and most importantly, the source of the prince's incredible sorrow. He's asking for the key to this entire mystery.
The prince just weeps, but then he gives his answer without saying a single word. He simply lifts his robe, and the king sees the horrific truth. The prince is half man and half stone. From the waist down, he is solid, unmoving black rock. This isn't just sadness, it's a terrifying curse.
And now all the pieces start clicking into place. The enchanted fish, this desolate palace, the prince turned to stone, it's all connected. The prince then begins to tell the king his story. And it's a tale of love, black magic, and a betrayal so vile it cursed an entire kingdom.
The prince explains that he was once the happy ruler of this kingdom, married to his own cousin, a woman he absolutely adored. But one night, while pretending to be asleep, he overheard two of his maids whispering, and they revealed a devastating secret. His wife was cheating on him, and she was drugging his wine every single night just to sneak away.
Can you even imagine? He's completely devastated, but he needs to see the truth for himself. So the next night, he comes up with a plan. He pretends to drink the wine, but just spills it into his robe. Feigning a deep sleep, he watches as his wife gets up, puts on her finest clothes, grabs a sword, and leaves the palace. And he follows her, silent, in the shadow.
He follows her out of the palace, and he's shocked when he watches her use sorcery to open the locked city gates. But her destination isn't some rival's palace, it's a pile of ruins, a squalid, filthy hut, and inside, her lover is waiting, a monstrous and cruel slave.
What the prince witnesses next just breaks him. This isn't some passionate affair, it's an act of total degradation. The slave insults her, and she begs him for forgiveness. At his command, she eats the leftover bones of rats, and then they lie together on a dirty bed of straw. It's just horrific.
Blind with rage, the prince just snaps. He enters the hut, takes the sword his wife had brought with her, and strikes the slave, wounding him terribly. He believes the blow was fatal. But that single act of revenge, well, it wasn't the end of the story. It was the trigger for a far darker magic, a curse that would turn a man to stone and his subjects to fish, leaving us with the biggest question of all. What happened next? Well, for that answer, we'll have to wait for the 8th night.